We are back. We are back in Skyrim, actually in High Rothgar, and we are doing our Dragonborn quests, which have been pretty cool. So far, fighting dragons and uncovering more about the dragon cult and all the different things that we have to do in regards to the Dragonborn quests. So there are multiple things, which is pretty cool. So we get to choose what order we want to do things, which is pretty neat. I found a note one of the cultists attacked me. Perhaps has some clue would prompt them. After we read the cultists' orders. Yeah, we encountered some cultists in Riverwood, and we put an end to them, but they had a note that we picked up. Cultist orders. Board the vessel Northern Maiden docked in Raven Rock. Take it to Windhelm, and then begin your search. Kill the false Dragonborn known as Voss before he reaches Sultheim. Return with word of your success, and Mirek should be most pleased. Interesting. So, Solstheim is actually weirdly geography. According to the geography of Tamriel, which Skyrim is a place in Tamriel, like this huge map is all just like a place in Tamriel. It's not even like it's just a chunk out of the larger picture, which is this whole map here is Skyrim, which is part of Tamriel. Like Skyrim is just a chunk out of the painting, which is Tamriel. And actually, a realm called Morrowind, which if you're familiar with Elder Scrolls, is a whole other continent that's kind of like an island in a lot of ways, is like up here somewhere. And that's like where like the Dark Elves live. And Solstheim is a place in between. So the climate is going to be really weird, because the climate's going to be a lot different than what we're accustomed to. And it's going to really smack more of Morrowind than of Skyrim. So cool. All the thought put into like just like the feeling of, you just feel like you're high up. Just crazy. Just you feel the cold. Alright, Shadowmere, let us be off to Solstheim. Which kind of explains why Windhelm has a fairly large Dark Elf population, because it's the closest to Morrowind, and there's a lot of immigrants from Morrowind. Is why there's like the Great Quarter, and it's because there was a volcanic eruption in Morrowind which caused a mass migration. So a little bit of Skyrim politics going on. Whee! Alright, what are we doing? Talking to this dude?
If you're looking for passage, to Captain Gyaller.
If you're looking for passage to Solstheim, too bad. I'm not going back there anymore.
Not even for the Dragonborn Archmage listener Thane. Well, I guess we're not Thane yet, but
Sure. Yeah, that's me. Why? Who sent you? Now, hold on. That wasn't my fault. I didn't know they were going to attack anybody. I don't even know how I got here. It's hard to explain. I remember those people with the masks coming on board. Then, the next thing I remember, I was here, and they were gone. And that's not right, losing whole days like that. There's been something strange going on there for a while. But after this, I'm done. I'm not going back to Solstheim. Have you been listening to me? I'm not going back there.
Well, we could try to persuade him out of guilt, but money's gonna be what gives us more than a one-way trip. Gives us a trip there and trip back.
Well, a man's got to make a living after all. Fine. We'll cast off immediately. Well, here we are. This is Raven Rock. Can't say I'm all that glad to see it again. Good luck. Maybe you can figure out what's going on around here.
So Raven's Rock is a island between Skyrim and Morrowind. That's so cool.
I don't recognize you. So I'll assume this is your first visit to Raven Rock, Outlander. State your intentions. Mirak, I'm not sure that I do. Just remember, Raven Rock is sovereign territory of House Redoran. This is Morrowind, not Skyrim. While you're here, you will be expected to abide by our laws. Any questions? I have to be. As second counselor, the security of Raven Rock is my primary concern. This isn't exactly the city of Blacklight. We're on the frontier out here, and we've had more than a fair share of troubles. After all we've been through together, I refuse to let Councillor Morvain down. Councillor Morvain is House Redoran's representative on Solstheim. As second councillor, it's my job to support him and make certain his rule is enforced. Raven Rock started out as an imperial settlement. The Empire decided to abandon it, just as my people were first setting foot here. They left the town a shambles. When House Redoran took over, we turned it around and it became ours. And even if it's been a struggle to make this island livable, we're proud to call it home. Your ignorance of our homeland doesn't surprise me. It's the capital of Morrowind. Been that way ever since Mournhold was sacked by the Argonians. I don't visit there often anymore, but we still get the occasional supply ship and visitors from there. Quite a while ago, yes. They cut a bloody swath across most of the southern region of Morrowind. Nobody seems certain why it happened. Attempted expansion, revenge for the enslavement of their people, or perhaps both. Whatever the case may be, thousands of Dunmen needlessly lost their lives, and many more were exiled from their homeland. I'm unsure. I swear I know the name, but I cannot place it. I don't think so. I'm not... The name has something to do with the Earthstone, I think, but I'm not sure what. Remember, we're watching you.
Talk to Captain Galland if you're looking.
Starting to wonder what happened to them.
We,
So cool.
were delayed by bad weather.
Hello? Sorry, there's a phone call. I really need to take my phone calls, so I just unfortunate. I usually don't have phone calls during streams, or usually when they're about to end. So, all right, so we're in Morrowind. So Morrowind is well, we're in between. We're between Skyrim and Morrowind, an island called Raven's Rock. It has a lot of the geological, like the plant life of Morrowind, and Morrowind is another game. If you're not familiar, it's another game by the Elder Scrolls in the Elder Scrolls series, which Skyrim is part of. And that game came out when I was a teenager, and that game is like, for its time, was groundbreaking. But the, we're still limited by what they could do by a lot compared to what they can do today. So it's really interesting to see like the structures and the architecture of the this area, like of Morrowind, what it would look like if they made another fully realized Morrowind game, which Morrowind's super cool. I'll probably play that on this channel at some point, but it's super imaginative. Like the armor is so, it's just such a weird. But, like, if you think that, like, the Nords are xenophobic, it's, like, 10 times. Like, the Dunmer are, like, super xenophobic. It's pretty crazy. Let's go...
Never seen a Redoran guard before?
No, probably not, because I'm from Skyrim. Or probably, maybe, originally from the Ultimate. Or the Altmeri Dominion.
You haven't seen Cresius Corellius, have you? That foolish old man's taken my... No, this isn't just your run-of-the-mill pickaxe. I'm talking about an ancient Nordic pickaxe. They don't exactly grow on trees, you know. I prefer to handle these things on my own. Look, if you see Cresius, tell him to give me that pickaxe back, and I'll pay you for the trouble. The finest weapons and armor.
Just kind of curious if they got some pretty cool stuff. Since we're here, it'd be a shame to not take advantage of the cool armor and stuff they have. Already haven't have any helm in it. Just making sure we have plenty of stuff.
Well, well, it's been a long time since someone from the guilds bothered to make their way out here. So tell me, how's my brother Delvin? Still spending his nights at the Ragged Flagon trying to win Vex's heart? Good to hear. Tam Layabout never even bothers to send his own flesh and blood a letter saying how he's doing. Can you imagine? Anyway, I suppose you're looking for work. Well, I got bad news. This place is drier than a damn bone. Eager to make some coin, eh? That's the spirit. I'll tell you what. The guild's got a problem out here that I've been trying to deal with for years, but haven't been able to handle. Don't look at me like that. I'm all alone out here, with no one to watch my back. And besides, it's really my problem anyway. I caused it. A fellow Breton who went by the name Esmond Tyne showed up on my doorstep about a fortnight ago. He noticed the shadow marks like you did, and I thought he was one of us. That he did, right out from under my nose. Can you believe it? It's my own formula for improved bone mold. Took me years to perfect. Well, before he ran off, he was talking some nonsense about trying to fence goods to the Reeklings at Castle Karstag. I told him he was crazy to even think about talking to those vicious little buggers, but he wouldn't listen. I'd bet a fat purse of coin that he's either dead or hiding out up there. You do that, and I'll make sure you're set up right. You won't be disappointed.
We're racking up all these quests. I don't know if we were able to fulfill them, per se.
A fine question, and the one that I hear most often from visitors to our town. I wish I had a more romantic tale to tell, but I was simply seeking my fortune and chose Raven Rock to ply my trade. Besides, knowing how to repair bone mold armor wasn't very useful in Riften. I had a friend over there, a dark elf named Van Ryth, a very talented armor smith. Spent a lot of time with the guy swapping smithing techniques. Learned a heck of a lot, including how to repair bone mold. After he moved on to greener pastures, I decided to pack up, move out here, and put those lessons to the test. Been here ever since. It's the only tool tough enough to crack Stalrim, is what it is. Not many of those beauties left in the world. Forging them is a lost art. The one Crescius borrowed came from the Skull village up north. I, traded them some goods for it. Calling Stalrim an ore is like calling my forge a campfire. Some folks say it's enchanted ice, but I think there's more to it than that. I don't think I've come across more than a chunk or two in my lifetime, and smithing's my trade. If you're looking to learn more, you should head over to the Skull village. Someone there's bound to know more about it than I do. No, wait. Maybe. I don't know how I know that name. I'm not sure. I don't want to talk about this.
Yeah.
Precious, he better give that pickaxe back to me, or else.
Apparently, Mirak is quite the character in that nobody wants to talk about him. I'm assuming it's a male name. Mirak sounds male. Let's try this bold mold armor just for the heck of it. Yeah, now we're talking. So weird. Like, Morrowind was such a cool game. We're gonna have to play it. It's pretty sweet. But they had all these original, like, it was fantasy, but it was almost like, it was so novel. Like, it's so original. Like, it was like like almost alien fantasy world. Like, it was so strange. Let's try some of the other.
If you're looking for passage to Vardenfell, you're out of
It's
luck.
pretty cool.
No ships are heading that way.
So we gotta find Mirak. anytime we're getting all this cool, like, hard to find stuff that we can't get in Skyrim. It's the wild yonder. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, so it's almost like half Morrowind. It's like the Morrowind part, and like half Skyrim in some ways. It's just it's a very novel, like, place. Ooh, I don't like whatever's going on there. Let's just see. Okay, so some of the quests we don't have to leave town yet, which is good. I have a feeling, like, as high level as we are now, I have a feeling like it's not going to be so crazy, but I do know that traditionally this area is, like, a lot harder than Skyrim in some ways, as far as, like, the enemy types and things. It's a little crazy.
If you're looking for the East Empire Company, they've been gone for over 100 years.
Raven Rock Mine.
Damn it, woman. I said to leave me. Who in the blazes are you? Can't you see I'm busy? Why should I tell you? I don't even know who you are. Maybe. Been difficult trusting people lately. They think I'm crazy. But mark my words, these mines hold a secret that could put Raven Rock back on the map. A secret the East Empire Company swept under the rug 2 centuries ago. It killed my great-grandfather and left Raven Rock with a worthless and tainted mine. Gratian Kyrelius. He spent his entire life exploring ancient ruins across Tamriel. And he died in these very mines almost 200 years ago. The East Empire Company called it a terrible accident, claiming that he was lost in a rockfall, but I know better. My wife and I were cleaning out our home, and we came across some of my great-grandfather's things locked in an old chest. I found an unsent letter he'd written to the East Empire Company, and a key. It describes a discovery that was made in the mine by some of the diggers. They wanted Gratian to take a closer look. The East Empire Company must have felt it was of great value, as they locked that section of the mine off from everyone else. It is. Well, I assume it is. I haven't been able to find the entrance. Now you're starting to sound like everyone else. I'm telling you, there's something big down there. Something that the East Empire Company wanted to hide from everyone. Look, my wife nags that I'm too old to go traipsing around these mines chasing my story. Time's my enemy. It's caught up with me before I could find the answers that I'm looking for. I do. I want to know what happened to Gratian, and what the East Empire Company's keeping from all of us. Gratian kept a journal of notes about his discoveries. If you can find his remains, I'm hoping it will help. Here's everything I have. The letter, the key, please, do this for me, so I can finally regain the respect that I've lost.
Well, it's kind of hard to turn down an old man that wants a little respect. That's, you know.
Look, I know I don't have much to go on. I have that unsent letter, and that's really it. But I also have a miner's instinct that's run in my family from before Gratian was even born. I may sound like a crazy old man to you, but I'm telling you, the tunnels here are solid. They would never collapse like that. She thinks that old age has addled my mind, that I'm seeing things when there's nothing to be seen. I realize she cares about me, but she has to understand that I can't rest until I find out what happened to Gratian. Then I'll settle down peacefully and never set foot in this mine again. I've been waiting for this moment for a long time, even before I discovered Gratian's old things. I just hope both of you don't mistake my enthusiasm for insanity. The damn fool doesn't even deserve to have it. The pickaxe was made for mining, not selling. I'll bet he stole it from the Skull in the first place. Now you're finally talking some sense. A mining tool belongs in a mining family. Just tell him I lost it or something. I recognize the name, but I don't know how I know it. It sounds so familiar. It's so strange. I feel like it's from a dream. Something about the Earthstone and a shrine. That's it. That's all I can think of.
I guess I wasn't paying clear enough attention, but I don't know if, like, giving him
I'll never understand.
agreeing to give the pickaxe, so I don't think was necessarily that maybe wasn't the best choice. So I don't know if it was technically his or not.
The mine. I've never been able to get that.
But, you know, helping him find out more about the Empire's involvement with the possible death of his co-workers, a pretty noble cause. Oh, nice. Skeevers everywhere. I'll settle him down a little bit. He sees a spider. Ooh, that doesn't... kind of dangerous. Air here. Just kind of curious. Which, we all know what happened to the curious cat, but, I wonder. I think the air was explosive. Man, Draugrs are even out here. Oh my gosh. It's not ready for this. Wow, that's pretty wild. We didn't. My gosh. Oh. Here's something. Little arrow off here. Ariel's bow versus normal bow. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This looks like bad news. Yeah. my goodness. I was just waiting there in the same spot for me. Alright. Pretty sweet. I know we've been doing help. Switch up a little bit. Yeah, let's... So close. Alright, gang, I think we're gonna leave it there. So until next time, for another adventure in Skyrim. We'll see you again soon.